What's happening, Hardscapers? I don't even know what day anymore it is on this project yet, and we're just getting started. We're picking up the pool coping here. We're going to be excavating the back retaining wall area. Let's get into this. So as you saw in the last video, we are at the corner of the steps on this side all the way along here. About 66% done. That'll take me a couple more hours to do there. And we're going to be excavating this back retaining wall area, so everything's just going to get removed here, and we'll start from scratch with this. Bin is showing up a little bit later. We've got the dingo here today, so that's what we'll get going on here. And I'll talk a little bit about why this retaining wall failed. If you saw the beginning videos, it was completely leaning over, and it's just a small retaining wall too. It was only about 16 inches high. We're going to go a little bit higher. We're going to go about 20 inches with our retaining wall, but I'll talk about why this failed here. As you can see, this is final grade. We haven't done anything except remove some interlock down here. That's sunken down a little bit, but this is final grade, and then this is the base of where that retaining wall block was. So that being said, you only had about 2 inches of embedment when we're looking for at minimum 6 inches embedment for retaining walls. So the embedment wasn't there, which causes no stability in that retaining wall block. The base material, I'm gonna assume, was okay, because for the interlock areas of this project, it was pretty good. There's no fabric for it. There could be fabric for underneath this retaining wall because we see some fabric here, but for their interlock there was none. Embedment's the first thing. The next thing is the fabric. The fabric is a woven fabric. You can see there, it is woven pieces of fabric together. They're intertwined. That is not the fabric that we want for this. We want a non-woven fabric. It's more of a felt-like material. It'll let water through it. It's good for drainage. And that's what we want for a retaining wall. Sometimes people don't even use fabric for the backside of the retaining wall. That's a little bit of a debate, but definitely for the bottom of the retaining wall, I do like to come up the back of the retaining wall personally, but also you'll see here, this fabric will impede the passage of water. So this will cause any water coming, especially from this slope coming down, to push against this. This hydrostatic pressure will push against this fabric, which will then push against the retaining wall. In addition to that, there's no backfilled material. There's no drainage pipe all along here. So that's gonna cause this area to just build up with water and push that retaining wall forward, especially with freeze thaw. This is just soil in behind it. It's gonna hold that water. When it freezes, it's going to expand and just slowly start to push that retaining wall over time. So what we're going to do here is excavate everything, get rid of everything, and then start from scratch with an open graded stone for our base, because that's going to tie into our drain going out. So that's going to run along this entire wall and then out. And then we are going to also have a foot of backfill in behind this retaining wall with that same 3/4 clean, and also that woven fabric at the base and wrapping up and then back to the retaining wall. been 2 or 3 now full, and this is just a mess back here. Oh my goodness. Just an absolute mess. This is October weather at its finest. I wanted to get cutting before it started to rain. It looks like it's gonna rain a little bit here, but concrete's all gone, minus a little bit there. We do eventually have to get this one out as well. Look at this mess, this section. And all along here, we've got out, we got the lamppost out, all here. And we got to get all this organics out. It's starting to mix a little bit with the gravel in here, but eventually we're gonna have to come a little bit further, get all that. Some of that has to be done by hand, and scooping this out, getting pretty close to the trees. Roots, we did hit one there, unfortunately. But next thing is cutting, and here comes the rain. Okay, so we did finish the pool coping. We got all this done and in. It will be adhered a little bit later. I did mention in an earlier video that we're doing the hide skimmer lid, so that's gonna be really cool. So those are overlapping the skimmer a little bit, but we'll notch that out, and then we'll raise this with a hide skimmer lid, and there'll be actually pavers in there to also hide that skimmer lid, as the name would suggest, hide skimmer lids. But from the skimmer lid, maybe a little bit further, about 3 feet past the skimmer lid, all the way to here, all of that, this is the power that IQ saw, all of that created this much dust, which is incredible. Half a wheelbarrow's full of dust from there to there. So that is probably about maybe 25%. So with all that being said, there's probably 2 wheelbarrows of dust with everything that you see around here. Just incredible how much dust would be just in the air. There's a school back here, which we don't want to get dust, you know, when the kids are playing outside. So not to mention our client's house, their neighbor's house, just that disruption of all that dust. Amazing what we can be able to do with that. Thank you for watching today's episode. I really appreciate you tuning in, watching these videos. Like this video if you found it helpful or entertaining or whatever, for whatever reason. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, comments, anything that you want to leave in the comment section. I'll respond to anybody and everybody. And there will be a playlist popping up somewhere around here, which has every episode from this specific project. If you want to follow along, if you're just tuning into this episode and want to see the progression of this entire project, be sure to follow that playlist and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more hardscaping content like this. Thank you so much for watching.